G'day and welcome back to another gas walkthrough. Today we're looking at June 28th, 2025's Deficit Sudoku by Clover. Clover's one of our stars here at Gas HQ, so my name is Bill Murphy. G'day, how you doing? It's a pretty special day for me. It's the 2-year anniversary of being with my partner. Drop a love heart in the comments or something, I guess. We are doing some sort of ridiculous dinner tonight. I've organized it, because I know what she likes, and the words, 23-course, 8-seater sushi omakase. Yeah. So, look, that's why I'm doing this early in the day. This is Gas Genuinely Approachable Sudoku. We create, set, and solve genuinely approachable Sudoku for you, the person watching this. You will find the link to today's puzzle in the description down below, and you will also find hat times. 2 hats for a very fast time, 1 hat for a pretty fast time. Everyone gets a dinosaur because we love you all equally. Now, I'm going to talk about today's puzzle. I have tried to rehearse this solve a little bit, because this one's ruined a stack of people, and I want to do both the puzzle justice, because it's very clever, but also justice for everyone who got absolutely ruined by this one today. But yeah, so if you thought surplus Sudoku was bad, I at least understand surplus. Deficit is quite a bit trickier, but let's get into it. So, normal Sudoku rules do not apply. What does apply is fill the grid with the digits 1 to 8 such that each digit appears exactly once in each row and each column, but each digit appears at most once in each outlined region. So you'll notice that we have 1, 2, 3, and then 4 empty spaces in here. It means 1 digit will get omitted, but no digit will get repeated. Which is very interesting and very useful to know. So, yeah, I'm going to start talking about this one. So let's get into it. Now, I'm going to use a neat little bit of meta logic here. Okay, so what do I mean by meta logic? Do I think you need this to solve the puzzle? No, I think you can get most of the way through without it. But I'm going to talk about it because I want to explain it right up top to make life a little bit easier for all of us. So, each digit can only be omitted once from a region. How do we know that? So, we have 8 groups of the digits 1 to 8. And in this grid, not talking about the regions, just in this grid, but in this grid we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 regions around the outside. Then we have around the inside another 4 regions. So that makes 8 regions. And then we have a center region which has 8 digits in it. We know that. We know that each digit can only appear at most once in each outlined region. So that means no digit can ever get repeated in this Sudoku in a region. So the question becomes, what's the meta logic here? Well, if you think about it, how do you ever have 2 digits that say that as a just thesis of those 2 regions need to not have, as a hypothetical, if those 2 regions did not both have 8 in them, as an example, then later on one other region must have 2 8s in it, which would break the rules. Feel free to play around with that knowledge in your head and twist it and turn it until it makes sense. I recommend grabbing some Scrabble tiles or something if you really want to convince yourself. But you can just kind of take it as a given here. Each region can only emit a digit once in this puzzle. There are just simply not enough regions for that to work. So, That being said, let's get into it, because I'm going to use that knowledge later. Alright, this region here, I know that these 5 digits cannot contain the digits 1, 2, 3, because digits can't repeat in a row, which means we have to put 1, 2, and 3 into these 2 cells. A 3 here means that I can never put a 3 in. For the purposes of coloring today, I'm going to use this color here. If you imagine this cube has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This region cannot have a 3 in it, which means it must have 1 and 2 over here. Now, where does 4 go in column 8? Can't go in any of those cells because it can't repeat in the region, so 4 has to go there. And we also know, because of this 1-2 pair, I can never put a 2 in this region because it can't go in there either. So I'm going to use 2 there. 1, 4, 3 over here means that 1, 4, 3 can't go in any of these cells. 1 here means that this is a 3, 4 pair, which we can actually do right off the bat. 4. And now, where does 2 go in this region? 2 can't go in any of those cells, and it can't go there, so the only place for 2 to go in column 1 is down there. Now, because this 1 here rules the 1 out of any of those cells, we know that this can't go in that one, and this 4 here rules it out of the top left region. Oy, 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 what a mess. Alright. And that 4 rules it out of this top left region here. So, what we can sort of... I'm going to actually delete the coloring in a second, but the thing that I wanted to point out here is that we know already that we've used 1, 2, 3, 4 in those regions. So, we know every other region in this grid must have a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. Cool? I'm gonna get rid of the coloring because I don't like the blue on blue personally. But while I'm here, 5, 5, 5 means that 5 can't go into any of those cells, so 5 must go there. And then we're left with 6, 7, seeing that cell, so that's an 8. I will pencil mark this 6, 7. Now, where should I begin looking? I know that I have to place a 2 into this region, so 2 has to go there. This is now 1 and 2. I have to place a 2 into this region, so a 2 has to go there. Where do I not have a 2 yet? 2 has to go there. And last 2 has to go into this region, and the only place it can go is there. Perfect. Can I do the same with 1s just yet? Not quite. Let's look at 3s. Yeah, let's look at 3s. Where does 3 go in the center? 3 can't go in any of those cells. 3 has to go here. Do I have enough to do that one yet? Not quite. 3. Now, I must place a 3 in one of those 2 cells. Oh, that's a 3-4 pair in that. That's nice. So that's a 3, a 4, and a 3. Still not quite enough to do that center region. We'll come back to it. 3, I have all 8 3s. Wonderful. 4s. Alright, where does 4 go? 4 has to go here. That's nice. That's what I wanted. Now, where does 4 go in this center region? 4 has to go there. 1 means that that's a 7, that's a 1. 6 and 7. Before I lose the absolute thread here. Oh, where does... What? Sorry, my washing machine. Where does 1 go in this row? 1 has to go here. That's an 8. And now, before I lose the absolute thread, let's just make sure I finish off all my 1s and 4s. 4 has to go there. Is that all the 4s? Yes, it is. Where are all my 1s going? 1 has to go here. And the last one goes down here. Lovely. Alright, now we're just down to 5, 6, 7s, and 8s. Alright, this is a 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. This can only be... Oh, 6, 8 pair up here, meaning that 8 has to go here, and 6 there. 6 is... I don't really want to color, but I will. Alright, so I've used my 1, 2, 3, 4. This region can't have 6. What about... Interesting. I mean, useful bit of logic there. This couldn't be 6, because if I made that 6, then we would have 2 regions that couldn't have a 6 in them. Alright, now, let's have a look across the top. Do I have 5, 6? Nope. Down the bottom. 7, 8, 5, 6, 5, 7. Nope. Alright, cool. So, 5, 6, 7 along here. Oh, 7 can't go in any of those cells. So that is a 7. Yeah, 7 there, 7 there. This is a 6 and a 5. This is a 7. 6 and 8. Oh, that is my 7, which I'm definitely keeping track of in the brown region. And 5 can't go into this region. That's pretty good. Okay, so that is... yeah, so 5 can't go into that region, being that yellow, and this awful light blue color. Cool. Can't have an 8 in it, which means that this... Hey, that's nice. My meta logic coming back. Alright, 8, 7. This is now 5, 6, 5, 6, 8, 7, 5 and 6, and 7 and 8. I was not planning on taking this long to solve a deficit Sudoku that... I didn't do it in 4 minutes. I did it in 4 minutes when I was testing this puzzle. But I hope that was a clearer, better way, and also a little bit of a view into some of the things that I think about whenever I'm trying to speed solve for, like, competitions and stuff. But this has been Deficit Sudoku by Bill. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.